In this episode of Contributing to a Safer Ohio, we will hear from Circleville law enforcement officials in response to their city being named as one of the top cities in Ohio that showed a reduction in the areas of violent crime and property crime. Plus, Ohio dramatically improved its public safety services through an investment in intelligence with the creation of the Hub, and citizens continue to reap the benefits. We'll go behind the scenes and highlight a few recent success stories. But first, we'll learn about a new safety resource that was recently introduced to Ohio schools as part of the Safer Schools Ohio initiative. It's all coming up on this episode of Contributing to a Safer Ohio.
A new safety resource was introduced late last year to Ohio schools as part of the Safer Schools Ohio initiative. This resource, an anonymous tip line, is available free of charge to every school district and school in Ohio. So far, more than 1,000 schools have signed up to use this service. The Ohio Department of Education and the Ohio Department of Public Safety launched the 844 Safer OH tip line that accepts both calls and text messages 24 hours a day to allow students and adults to anonymously share information with school officials and law enforcement about threats to student safety, whether that involves a threatened mass incident or harm to a single student. On January 14th, Superintendent of Public Instruction Dr. Richard A. Ross and Public Safety Director John Bourne, among others, recognized Liberty Union High School in Fairfield County for being one of the first schools to sign up for the Safer OH tip line.
We know that 81% of the time, before someone takes an action that's going to result in someone being injured or killed, 81% of the time, more than 3/4 of the time, they tell someone else about it. And so that other person that they tell has an opportunity to be that first preventer.
Once a tip is received by the Safer Schools Ohio tip line, personnel from Ohio Homeland Security within the Threat Assessment and Prevention, or TAP unit, will determine whether the concern is a school-related threat of a criminal nature and/or a criminal terrorism-related tip or suspicious activity. If the threat is of a criminal nature, the TAP unit will then use all available Ohio Homeland Security resources, including the following: the Regional Fusion Centers, Terrorism Liaison Officer Program, local law enforcement liaisons within the Strategic Analysis and Information Center, and the Department of Education analyst to notify appropriate partners. Suspicious activity or non-criminal school safety concerns, such as general tips about bullying or fights between students, will be routed to the education analysts, school administrators, and local law enforcement.
I believe that the kids know things. I think teachers know things. But if you don't communicate to each other and share the information, then a tragedy happens.
The TAP unit is staffed 24 hours a day, 365 days a year by 4 analysts who are not only committed to school safety in schools, but are highly trained.
I traveled to Washington, D.C. and met with 3 PhDs from the United States Secret Service Intelligence Division. And they agreed to send their people from Washington, D.C. to Ohio to train all of our analysts on how to handle threat calls and how to do an analysis. And once that analysis is complete, then we make sure that we get that both call and information immediately to the people that count the most.
Since September of last year, the TAP unit has already contributed to response activities regarding more than 30 threats to schools within Ohio.
The tip line itself, being anonymous, allows for early knowledge to come in to the appropriate people so we can forestall any potential problems and avoid some of the tragedies that have happened throughout the state and country.
As part of the Safer Schools Ohio initiative, Ohio Homeland Security also reviews and evaluates Ohio schools' emergency management and safety plans to provide guidance to school administrators and officials on how to further develop and improve their plans to ensure best safety practices are implemented. TAP unit analysts assist schools with threat analysis, mitigation, and fill the gaps in information reporting.
We can talk about instruction and achievement all we want, but it starts with safety and students being safe in school.
Schools can sign up for the free tip line at saferschools.ohio.gov. From catching criminals to preventing tragedies, there's no question that coordinated efforts yield the best results. Ohio dramatically improved its public safety services through an investment in intelligence with the creation of the hub in 2011, and citizens continue to reap the benefits. The round-the-clock operation merges intelligence capabilities of multiple agencies, including criminal intel, emergency management, and homeland security. Through the hub's efforts, problems are solved quickly and accurately, and results continue to impress. In December, analyst Katie Mason assisted with an incoming call on the Homeland Security tip line that may have subverted a potential school threat.
I took a phone call from a concerned parent of two students that attend that local high school, and she had information that she observed another student, possibly showing signs of behavior that indicated a potential threat to the safety of the students and the faculty at this school. So I was able to reach out to our threat assessment and prevention team, and we worked together to coordinate the information and make sure that proper steps were taken and implemented for the safety of the students and the faculty.
In November, analysts received a call into the Columbus Communication Center from a concerned citizen who had received a suicidal message from a friend online.
I've taken several calls like this. It seems to be a trend that juveniles are threatening to commit suicide via social media.
The hub only knew the juvenile's name and phone number, but utilized social media to determine his location, as well as his parents' names and phone numbers. Local police deployed to the scene and conducted a welfare check, helping alert the juvenile's parents to the situation to get him the help that he needed.
Without any of the moving pieces, both the comm center, the watch desk, the intel unit, and the local PD, if you take any of those pieces away from the overall picture, the whole coordinated effort would have fallen through.
In December, a son called the Columbus Communication Center concerned about the location of his father, a semi-truck driver. The attempt to find him involved many moving parts.
That's what assisted in this situation, is that we had a lot of people that certainly cared about the victim and trying to get him help.
He reportedly had high blood pressure and diabetes, and he had spoken with his son and reported to his son that he wasn't feeling well. He could see the digits on his cell phone but wasn't able to decipher them or make phone calls. He also reported being dizzy.
A cell phone ping was unsuccessful in showing his location, and although the son originally indicated his father was in Columbus, the family thought he may be in Toledo. The Michigan State Police became involved, as well as patrol posts, when analysts finally made contact with the driver.
He answered the call from our watch desk lieutenant. He indicated that he was fine, did not need any assistance, and was feeling okay.
But when the next analyst took over for the day, he learned that wasn't the case.
The family had called back, and we knew that it was an evolving incident where he was either becoming a lot worse, or again, they could not locate him. So we initiated another phone ping, and technology really helped us with this, because we were able to actually get a good location. Thinking that he was in the Toledo area, he actually was west of Columbus. And with the information that we got from the cellular phone company, we were able to geo-track his location and actually locate the driver and be able to get him help.
These stories illustrate the importance of investing resources in intelligence and embracing new technology and proven techniques to ensure the well-being of Ohioans. Ohio citizens know the devastating impact violent and property crime can have on their communities, and recognize the police efforts in combating this crime issue that has plagued Ohio's neighborhoods. The FBI recently released the current edition of Crime in the United States, demonstrating that crime has been reduced in Ohio far more than other states, including the 5 states within our region. According to the FBI's Crime in the U.S. report released in November, Circleville is among a list of cities in Ohio that show a trend of crime reduction in the areas of violent crime and property crime. Circleville Police Department's crime-fighting tactics resulted in a decrease in violent crime by 25.8% and a decrease in property crime by 10%. Circleville was recently awarded the I Contribute Award by the Ohio Department of Public Safety for their efforts.
Chief Gray is really proud that we received this award. He's proud of the department, he's proud of the officers, he's proud of the city as a whole, that this wasn't an award just to us. It was a collaborative effort to make this happen. I think in all actuality, the word excellence would be the one he would use.
Law enforcement can give a first-hand account on the effects that crime has on a community and give insight on the special methods needed to combat crime. Circleville Police Department has a school resource officer that helps directly with students to help in their effort in crime reduction. Their in-house chaplain also plays a special role in this goal.
I work for the whole district from K through 12. I'm there for safety and security. I'm there to build a relationship with the students in a different aspect. Usually kids see police, arresting mommy or daddy. So now I'm building a friendship with the kids. A lot of times crime was happening in school and the school was handling it from their standpoint and thought it was okay. Law enforcement never knew about it. We never knew what was going on. We never knew what was happening. So now the school is getting informed about crime with kids outside of school, and now they know this kid may be in school selling drugs, he's out on the street selling drugs, or he's involved in crimes outside of school. I personally feel that if I'm affecting the kids, they're not now going out and committing crime in the city, so it is dropping crime not only in the schools but out in the community as well, because I'm making a connection with the kids.
I think I'm especially encouraged by and impressed with what we would call crime prevention efforts. That it's not just a matter of going out and making arrests, but doing what we can to make a better and safer community so the crimes will not be committed here.
The Office of Criminal Justice Services strives to positively impact the state of Ohio in the prevention, intervention, and the reduction of crime and delinquency. Their partnership with local law enforcement and the resources they offer play an important role in fighting crime.
The partnerships are critical. Without them, we just simply can't do the job. Chief Gray has put together a really extensive neighborhood watch program, and that allows us to get information that we just normally wouldn't get. There are eyes and ears out there, and they report a lot of things that then we can act upon.
Partnerships are critical on state, county, and municipal levels to ensure that Ohio's neighborhoods are as safe and crime-free as possible.
Well, I think it's a huge benefit to not just us as a department or the police department, but for the community. We have a great rapport with the police department, which allows us to work more thoroughly with the offenders. I think, in our community, the offenders know that since we have such a great relationship with the police department and we work together with them so much, that there's an accountability issue. They know that, hey, yeah, probation may not be out, but the officers know that if they see us and we're violating the terms of their conditions, they will contact us and we will address the issues. With our collaboration with the police department, our community should feel safer.
Ultimately, celebrating a community like Circleville Police Department for their anti-crime and revitalization efforts builds neighborhood pride and supports the sustainability of all neighborhoods. For more information on the trend of crime reduction in the state and crime mapping tools, please visit ocjs.ohio.gov. Through continuous partnerships, innovation, security improvements, and technology enhancements, the Ohio Department of Public Safety continues to contribute to a safer Ohio.